Welcome to Our Girl Relationships. We talk about the problems people face in their day-to-day lives. Let's start with the video. I and my sister shared an incredible bond, but everything changed when I got married. My younger sister was a bit spoiled, and that was because she was the youngest and most beloved to us. My sister had been dating a guy who was head over heels crazy for him. That guy did not seem like a decent person, and we had warned her several times, but she did not listen to anyone. One day, my sister told us that she was planning to marry the guy and wanted to propose to him. My mom told her that she should wait and let him do that, as he might not be ready for the marriage. My sister did not agree with my mom and told us that she was going to propose to him on his birthday. So my sister, as she had planned, threw a lavish birthday party and we all were invited. She proposed to him after the cake was cut, and he got puzzled. At first, we thought that he was just amazed, but soon it was evident that he was not ready for the proposal. He said yes and literally took ages to say that, and then left the party after a while saying that there was an emergency. We could clearly sense something shady, but my sister was too blind to see all the red flags that he waved. So that guy started ghosting my sister after that party, and that disturbed her a lot. He would go NC for days and then would reappear with an excuse, and my dumb sister would believe him as always. I tried to talk to her, but all in vain. She would say that I was jealous because she was already engaged and I was still single. I gave up on her and stopped discussing anything with her. My sister's boyfriend went MIA for 3 months straight, leaving my sister mentally sick. She was so obsessed with him that she had to see a psychiatrist. We had somehow convinced her that the guy was not good at all, and she had to move on, but that piece of crap came back and told her that her phone got stolen and he was out of town, so that was the reason he could not contact my sister. I told my sister that it was a very dumb reason, and she should not believe him, but of course she did. They were good for almost a month, and then my sister's boyfriend told her that she had to break the engagement. She kept asking him why he wanted her to do that, but all he said was that his mom wanted him to marry someone else. And it was necessary for his future as the party was rich and well established. My sister told him that she was not going to break the engagement and he had to take a stand for them. That was when he started blackmailing my sister. He told her that if she would buy expensive gifts for his mom, she could be convinced about their marriage. My sister kept doing that for a while, and then that guy started demanding money. When she was not able to give him the amounts that he was demanding, he threatened her that he was going to post her explicit photos on social media. That was when my sister shared the whole story with me, and as it made me furious, I yelled at her and told her that it was her mistake and she had to deal with it. We shared the whole situation with our parents, who were as furious as I was to know about that. They asked my sister why she had not told us when he had started acting like that. My dad filed a report against her, and we had a lot of evidence against him, so it was easy to get behind the bars. When I started dating my husband, my sister asked me how could I trust someone like that and date him without knowing much about him. I knew it was her experience that had left a mark, so I did not mind at all and did not even listen to her, but her behavior got worse with time. When I told my family that my husband had proposed to me, she was enraged and asked me how could I even think of getting married when my sister was going through a heartbreak. I told her that it was my life and I could not wait for her to get over her piece of crap. She told everyone that she was not going to attend my wedding. I did not pay any attention to her and started the wedding preparations. I got married and my sister literally did not attend. She moved out of our parents' house saying that we were insensitive and did not care for her. Last week, I called her to tell her that I was expecting. I was very excited and had already called my family and thought my sister might love to know that. But she asked me how I dared to call her and cursed me, saying that I was going to give birth to a dead baby. I lost my temper and told her that she deserved to be going through all of that and that no one is ever going to accept a psycho like her. AITA? So my sister called our parents and told them what I had said to her. She did not tell them what she had said, and I could not believe her. My mom was very furious and asked me how could I say that to her. I told her the whole story and also that she could call her at my parents' place and we could talk face to face. My mom told me that she was going to call my sister and then would talk to me again. When my mom called me, after a while, she said that my sister denied whatever she said to me when I told her about my pregnancy. I was shocked and told my mom that she had to invite us to her place to sort things out. When I went to her place, my sister was already there and my mom was angry. She asked me, how could I say those things to my sister and then blame her for everything? All of us started arguing, and the discussion turned out to be a fight. My dad arrived and told us to leave everything and go back to our homes, as he was sick of our catfights. I left immediately and have not contacted my family until now. Here I am with an update. My sister's behavior and mental health got better, and she started behaving normally. Her anger issues got better, and she even apologized to me for being mean and rude. She told me that she was suffering and that made her jealous of me as I was living a life that she dreamt of living. I had no hard feelings for her and told her everything was all right. Okay, so my daughter, who is almost 3 years old now, goes to my sister's place with her to stay for a day as they both are much attached. My daughter was with my sister last weekend while I was at work. My sister sent a video of my daughter holding a broom and sweeping the floor. My sister was yelling at her like someone would yell at a maid and was telling her to clean properly. My daughter seemed scared, and she even started crying at the end of the video. I asked my sister what was going on, and she said that they were playing. Is it normal? Why do I feel like my sister is still not mentally stable and still feels jealousy? I could not trust her with my daughter anymore. So, as most of you guys commented, I confronted my sister and asked her why she was doing that to my daughter. She told me that I was thinking too much and that they were only playing. She also said that my daughter loved holding a broom and roaming around her house acting like she was cleaning. Just to mention that my daughter does not do that at home. I told my sister that it seemed like she was forcing her to do that, and my daughter even cried in the end. Just like my sister does every time, she told our mom about that, saying that I was doubting her love for my daughter. I showed my mom the video and asked her if she could sense what my sister was doing. My mom scolded my sister and told her that she was being a bit abusive towards my daughter. My sister told us that we had gone crazy and left. So my sister took it to her heart and sent CPS to my place, reporting that I was torturing my daughter because I was psychotic. When I asked the team who sent them, they told us that the report wanted to stay anonymous. I at once guessed it was my sister and called her right there. She laughed hysterically when I asked her if she had sent CPS. I told the team that my sister had lied and then showed them the video. The team told me that they were going to take any action against my sister and that I should also report to the police as the video was enough evidence. I did the same and provided the video too to the police. The case is processing and my sister is already in a huge problem. NTA. OP should not have trusted her sister after whatever she had done. OP was a very cooperative sister but had to take a stand against her sister. OP should have reported to the police even before her sister had sent the CPS. At last, there is an OP who is not giving chances and is suing the crazy a-hole. NTA. OP's sister was such an a-hole, like it was her who chose to stick to that bullshit of a boyfriend even when everyone was warning her about him. And when she was suffering heartbreak, who told her that she was entitled to make everyone else suffer too? She seemed senseless from the start and literally proved to be in the end. I have a fairly successful real estate company. About 15 years ago, I was engaged and she cheated on me, and following that, I changed my will so that my sisters and my nieces, nephews would inherit what I have after I pass, because I decided to never have a partner ever again. My sisters only knew that I changed my will because my dumbass told them this whilst drunk at an NYE party in 2007. About 6 years ago, I met Anna. We ended up in the same ward after having cancer treatments and started talking, and things went from there. I am not ashamed to admit that I think she's the bee's knees. We've been together ever since, and my family is aware of this, but have been unwelcoming to Anna for reasons that have never been clear. There's no significant age difference, we are all pale skinned, no religion issues, etc. However, I figured it out recently when one of my sisters approached me and asked whether I wanted input as to which college her eldest was going to. I was confused as to why it involved me, and she explained that, of course, I would be paying for it. I was shocked and asked why she thought this, and she explained that I had said I would leave everything to them 15 years ago. I laughed and pointed out that at the time I was 24 and heartbroken, and my sister and her husband were well off and should be supporting their own child, not asking me to. My sister went off about how Anna was stealing me and my money, assets, away from the family, and how we have no children, so I should support my sister's children. I said that, of course, Anna would inherit from me as she is my spouse, and that my sister needs to take her demanding attitude elsewhere. Not to mention that at 39 and 37, it's entirely possible for Anna and I to have kids. Yet, and whether we did was none of my sister's business. We haven't spoken since, and my other sister is mad at me for leading them on for 15 years. I feel like I might be at fault here because I can see how they could assume that, but also, why do they take my drunken word for it and never bring it up since? Especially as I now know that neither has saved for their kids to go to college because they were relying on me to pay. I now understand why they don't like Anna. Also, Anna is very upset about the whole situation and is blaming herself for driving a wedge between my sisters and I. AITA here? NTA, they would have to inherit if you would have died. You never stipulated that you'd cover college, etc., for your nieces and nephews. So they've walked around for 15 years hoping that you'll drop dead so they get money to pay for things they haven't accounted for themselves. Wow, your family is a bunch of gold diggers. This is not Anna's fault at all. NTA, you aren't their personal piggy bank. If someone said that to me while drunk with a freshly broken heart, I'd completely dismiss it. Then, to be so greedy that they automatically dislike Anna because it means that they won't get an inheritance shows more about them than about you. You have a right to be happy. They are not entitled to your money. I suggest you talk to a lawyer because if you leave them nothing, they will probably try to contest your will. I'm 29 years old and my partner is 30, male, and we've been together almost 8 years and have lived together for almost 3 years. I also have a child, 13, female, from a previous relationship. He is a type 1 diabetic. He takes 2 shots of insulin per day, one with breakfast and one with dinner. This means that he must time the space between meals as well to make sure that he's balancing the amount of complex carbs and simple sugars that he eats with each meal. This typically does not cause us any issue as he gets up and eats his first meal of the day between 8 and 9 a.m., lunch between 11 and 12, and I try to work out what time to have dinner ready so that his blood sugar doesn't get wonky. So we usually eat around 6:30 p.m. When this schedule gets disrupted slightly, a temper tantrum ensues. It doesn't matter where we are or what we're doing. If we're out with friends or family, it doesn't even matter if anyone is inconvenienced. If we adhere to his schedule, no temper tantrums happen. In the event we're out with friends, he doesn't throw a fit right then and there in front of him. He waits to lay it into me about it when we get home. I've suggested he brings food with him so that his schedule isn't disrupted. I've said it's okay if he needs to grab something to eat. But we're not hungry yet. My daughter and I will just eat when we get home. I've even brought small things with us in my purse to hold him over if there's any chance that this might happen. But he always acts like I have offended him by doing so, or guilts me about not wanting to sit down and eat as a family. We don't sit and eat as a family. We eat on foldable tables in the living room and watch TV. We are also not allowed to eat without him unless he is out of town. But he says he's allowed to eat without us if he needs to get his insulin. We're also not allowed to go out for things that he typically cannot have in large amounts, like ice cream. If we do go out and get ice cream, donuts, or if we order anything like pancakes for breakfast, he makes comments like, "You two should have diabetes, not me." These comments are hurtful. Today I snapped on him. We wanted to go to the ice cream shop that's downtown that has diabetic-friendly, gluten-free, vegan, etc. options. He became angry and again started calling me selfish because he already had his simple sugars with dinner. I mentioned the diabetic-friendly options and he got even madder and called me selfish for even saying that. So I snapped back. I am not responsible for anything that has to do with your diabetes outside of knowing the signs of low, high blood sugar and being prepared and knowing what to do in those situations. Everything else is your problem." He went quiet and left. I don't want him to feel left out or think that we don't care, but I feel like he is punishing us just because he has a disability. AITA? NTA. Some people use their illnesses or disabilities to try to control people around them to make them feel like they have more control in their own life. I would suggest counseling. You have offered him options, gone out of your way to find things that he can eat. You're definitely NTA. NTA, but I'm not sure that he is 100% TA either. His treatment plan went out in the 80s, and I'm appalled that he's still on that treatment. If he doesn't have insurance and can't afford a pump, then he should at least be doing intensive insulin therapy with pens. Does he see an endocrinologist? Has he ever done diabetes training? Him saying he needs to eat to get his insulin suggests he doesn't have the slightest bit of diabetes training and has no clue what he's talking about. His treatment plan sounds like something a typically ignorant GP would give a diabetic while refusing to refer him to a specialist. He needs a specialist. Type 1 diabetes is a complex disease requiring complex treatment, and GPs don't know crap about it. OP diabetics whose disease is poorly controlled have terrible mood swings and tend to act out. Him tantruming whenever his schedule is disrupted could be the result of blood sugar swings causing mood swings. However, it's not okay for him to treat you and your child this way. Two things need to happen. Find the best diabetes specialist in your area, endocrinologist specializing in diabetes, and get him an appointment. Go with him and lay out his behavior as well as his treatment plan. Ask about diabetes training and intensive insulin therapy and what hoops you have to jump through to get him on a pump. Whilst this is being done and he's getting a better plan in hand, have a series of conversations with him about how he can no longer use his disability to control you and your daughter. Set healthy boundaries and set consequences for crossing them, and then hold him to it.